Hello, hello, hello. Um, Pardon? It's registering that my camera's there, but it's not at the same time. That was weird. That was weird, bro. Wasn't it? Anyways, hello, hello, hello. It's your boy. Sorry for a late stream today. I was just didn't feel like I wanted to play a game, but like I always want to play games. That's the thing about games, that you want to feel like you're doing something. Um, but it's also because it was an original Xbox game. I was like, oh, I got put off. But come on, fix color. You didn't fix yourself. You usually fix yourself after I click it. Something weird's going on in the camera. It's not like this. It's just like too dark. It needs to be a bit brighter. We Let me do this. No, that doesn't do anything. Import format. Well, let me do this. Let's see if that fixes itself. No, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. What's going on? That feels a bit better. Anyways, watched the movie last night, and you can guess it. It was the latest and potentially final movie in the Harry Potter universe. Called Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. If this isn't Fantastic Beasts, you think that'll be the forefront. Newt uses beasts to save the day. No, there's only one beast throughout the fucking movie, and that's the Qilin. In the other one, there was a beast he found that he used to save the day. Then the first one was about catching the fucking beast. Then the side story became the major final battle with Credence as an Obscurus type thing. But in this one, Credence is there, but he's not one of the main characters. He's one of the side characters you begin to care for, because you find out not only is he a Dumbledore, but he's actually, instead of a Dumbledore brother, he's Albus's brother's son that they didn't know about. And the reason why the Phoenix is there is because Credence is dying, because he's been Obscurus for so long that it's making him physically weak, so he's dying. Tina's on this movie. Queenie has white hair instead of blonde, which is weird. And it's not even about Newt anymore. Newt barely had any screen time compared to Albus in this movie. I guess it makes sense because it's called The Secrets of Dumbledore. I guess, but like, I kind of enjoy Grindelwald a tad bit, but then this one retcons Grindelwald, because not only do they not talk about how Grindelwald doesn't look the same at all. Like, one of the plot points is that he had like fucking blonde hair and that his eye was fucked. They don't talk about it. I thought we were going to explain that he has to change appearances every now and again, and if he uses real self, he'd like gets damaged or some shit. And also in the other one, was talking about how he doesn't actually hate Muggles. He just wants to be a wizard, and for Muggles to just not give a fuck. But in this one, he's like Wizard Hitler. He wants to annihilate every Muggle, and become powerful, which is weird. It's like it completely retcons the final scene of the last movie and the first scene in this one. And like, if you're annihilating Muggles, why the fuck is Queenie on your side? Because Queenie is all for there to be Muggle and Wizard relations. But if Muggle's going to be dying, why is Queenie on his side? But Queenie thankfully reverted back and quickly got married at the end at his bakery, and and everyone who went to the wedding are the ones that we saw throughout the fucking movie, which is weird. Like, why doesn't Jacob have other friends, family members? Theseus even fucking comes and he doesn't even know Queenie or Baker dude, Jacob. We didn't actually see Jacob doing any magic with the wand, because we know it's either the magic comes from the wand, or the wand just harnesses the own power. Because like, we always think it's weird that people can do stuff without their wands, but then you realize no, they're wizards, they can do it if they can control it. Yeah, that's the thing, like, it's only a tool, like how in Thor Ragnarok, he's not the god of thunder, he's the god of thunder. He can actually control the lightning without the hammer, but then the hammer actually was a source, not a source, it was a tool to strike everyone down. But then a cool thing, like, it was also setting up that Jacob was the chosen one in this era, because the part of the thing is that the Qilin sees good and evil in people, and if they're pure of heart, they bow down to you, and that's why the Qilin is one of the most, like, is either rarest or most, like, essential or special creature. Is that they choose it, and it was setting up Jacob to be that, because that's how they choose the newest magic president, which would change everything, no matter how much people are against it. But then so many people are in favor of Grindelwald even before his tactic of killing a Qilin, then making him come back to life, then making it bow. And the even weirder part is that he brings it to make them use it. It's like, what? Of course it's going to show leniency to its master. But then before, like the scene beforehand, you saw Jacob playing with the Qilin and talking about he only sees the pure of heart. And like, when we see it at the end, it kneels towards Dumbledore, which is cute. But then Dumbledore says, there's someone else that's more pure of heart in this crowd. And I wasn't really thinking about it, but then after watching I realized, oh shit, was it that they were doing that? It was setting up Jacob to be the new magic president. Like a muggle being the new magic president. Holy shit. But then, no, he just goes to a side character that barely had any lines, and just saved Jacob from the Cruciatus Curse, and he just got over the Cruciatus Curse just like that. And the Cruciatus Curse is the equivalent to fucking torture. We don't see him bleeding, we don't see him dying or anything. The only good thing is to see Newt and his friends, but then, like, they have no purpose here. Why is Newt saving the fucking world against Grindelwald? I understand he can be on a team, but, like, what? And also, it makes the entire plot of the last movie redundant, because the entire plot was, like, finding out who Credence was, and finding out he's a Dumbledore at the end, but throughout the movie, it's like, oh, he's actually a Lestrange, he's a long-lost sibling. But no, that's the main and Lita just dies because of that. And like, I really, when I first saw the trailer for both of these movies, Grindelwald and Dumbledore, I was like, it's not about the beasts anymore. And I'm like, that's why everyone loved Fantastic Beasts. It was about exploring magic and beasts, and there was undertones that Grindelwald was there, and Credence was a threat, and therefore he uses his beast to save the day. I understand that, but that was a minor plot that turned big at the end. But throughout this, it's not that. He's not saving his beast. He's not finding his Niffler again. It's just weird. I want the next Fantastic Beast movies to be like the first half of it is them living, then the next half is them actually doing shit. Because I want Jacob and Queenie and Tina and Newt to just do adventures finding these beasts. Then it turns out those beasts are important to a grand, wider scale. Then actually Grindelwald has been searching for them throughout the entire movie. That would make it way better. It's just unfortunate. But I'm gonna give this movie a straight 5 out of 10. Like, if you thought Grindelwald was weaker than the first one, this is weaker than Grindelwald. Like, at least Grindelwald had a cohesive plot, actually made sense. You actually were designed to actually kind of sympathize with Grindelwald, because he was like, he just wanted to be free. He didn't want to be held down. He didn't want to hide in plain sight. But now fucking everyone else is like, no. And now in this movie, it's like, no, every muggle must die for wizards to be pure blood. I'm like, what? You're becoming another Voldemort. And why Voldemort didn't need to be elected president to do change when he was in command. Like, it's almost like JK thought of this stuff now as opposed to back then. I mean, sure, it makes sense of a story perspective. You make up things later to make other movies make sense, but this isn't making the other movies make sense. The other movies made perfect sense. And, like, after this movie, I was sitting there and, like, yeah, it feels like the Wizarding World. There's Hogwarts, there's the characters, there's magic, there's wizards. But then when you think of Harry on the ground in the Ministry being, like, controlled by Voldemort, it doesn't even feel like the same series of fucking movies. It doesn't even seem like it's part of the same world, let alone universe. Like, it's so weird. Like, you know it is, but it doesn't feel like it. Like, if you go back and watch what maybe fucking, like, Half-Blood Prince, you'd be like, this actually feels like this is a cool fucking story. And there's, like, undertones about the Horcruxes and shit. But sure, the same characters, same locations, blah, 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 but it just doesn't feel the same. But that was the beauty of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, was that we know it's different. But now it just feels like it's a different complete set of series. It's weird. It's like watching fucking Avengers Infinity War, then going to The Boys. They're both about superheroes. They're both about killing superheroes. But then it's a completely different society and thing. I don't know, it's weird. 5 out of 10. Sure. The cast, like, I like Mads Mikkelsen. I always enjoyed his performance in movies. But, like, if you go into this movie not knowing he's Grindelwald, you'll be like, who the fuck is this character? Throughout the entire fucking movie, no one refers him to Grindelwald at all. Like, majority of the movie, you're like, when's Grindelwald gonna show up? But then the final battle, you realize, what? That's actually Grindelwald? I don't know. I mean, like, and people are like, well, I mean, after the first two Harry Potters, they recasted Albus Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore throughout 1, 2, onto 3 look the same attire, same hair, kind of same voice. But in this one, there's nothing alike the actors or their makeup or their costumes. They're completely different people. And there's no in-law explanation. At least everyone thought there would be, but there's none. And that's so depressing. It's like, I was expecting something like whether the Grindelwald we saw in Crimes of Grindelwald was the true self, or this is the true self, but it's not. It's like how they're not mentioning in Iron Man 2 that already got recasted, which makes sense because Iron Man was it was its own movie, then its sequel had a recast, makes sense. But this is a massive franchise. People are going to know when some minor character gets a fucking recast. And Grindelwald's not even a minor character, you know? And like we were going to watch this in cinemas mid this year, but we just didn't. And then it turns out this movie only made itself in box office. He got 400 million from getting a 200 million budget, which is crazy to me because some Harry Potters had less than that and got nearly $1 billion. Like, I want them, like, these movies don't even feel like they're, like, these movies feel like they're only a span of a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. But the beauty of the Harry Potter's up until Deathly Hallows Part 2 was that it takes place over an entire year of Harry learning, becoming, whatever. These movies aren't that. They're just an average action movie that tries to be like Harry Potter but fails. And this is what I felt after watching Grindelwald for the first time. But if even more so in this one, sure, the acting is good. The setups are cool. The twists are pretty unique. But it doesn't. Its own downfall is its retcons that, like, not even from Harry Potter, but from the other two Fantastic Beasts movies. Like, the first movie, we see that Credence, Credence is an obscurus, which is what the entire plot was. Grindelwald's character as Graves, as Colin Farrell, he tries to find his sister, his stepsister or adoptive sister, even though they were both adopted. And like, I smelt the squib on you. I was like, huh? But then now, at the end of Grindelwald, you says, like, you're the Dumbledore. Like, what? You can't make these things. You can't smell like a muggle towards someone who's a fucking Dumbledore. That doesn't make sense. It would make sense if Credence wasn't a major character. He was, it turns out, up there, there was a wizard or a witch or whatever. I don't know, it just hurts because I like the fucking Harry Potter movies. I like the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I like the second one, understanding that it's about the crimes of Grindelwald. But I still expect it to be about Fantastic Beasts. Like, the reason why people enjoyed Harry Potter was that it was Harry Potter and this. Harry Potter and that. But in this one, it's not even Fantastic Beasts and this. It's Fantastic Beasts. I mean, like, in the first movie, it's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Then the second one is Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. And this one is Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Like, even look at these covers. Look how massive Fantastic Beasts is in that. You don't even read it and Where to Find Them. The second one is a little bit smaller, but it's like on equal with The Crimes of Grindelwald. But in this one, you can't even read fucking Fantastic Beasts. Oh, you only can read Secrets of Dumbledore. Like, why do that? It's a very, very depressing. But yeah. What do I watch tonight? I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I want to rewatch Harry Potter already. I know some people like that with series. After they finish The Office, let's rewatch The Office. After they finish Friends, let's rewatch Friends. After they finish Arrested Development and Community, let's rewatch those shows. I've never felt that before. Maybe with Parks and Rec, maybe. But this is the only time of watching a series of movies that I feel like, I want to watch this again. Like, even watching MCU shit, the only reason I rewatched it so often was because I was preparing for a new movie to come out. But lately, since my memory's gone so much stronger being an adult, is that I only need to watch it once to understand what may happen in the next movie. Like, the entirety of fucking Phase 3 I've watched basically once. A couple movies I watched more than once, like Homecoming, Infinity War, Ragnarok. Every other movie I've only watched once. and I remember them basically 100%. And the entirety of Phase 4 I've only seen once, remember 100%. Anyways, let's play a game. For you need to go 0. You go here. And you go here. And you go base. Pardon me. That wasn't even a burp. I tried to burp, but nothing came out. Ah! The fuck? Look at this. It's already out. It's the 1st of November. And the new PS Plus games are already out. They usually takes like maybe the 5th of the month, but no, today's the 1st. The fuck? And this game... Wait, what? This game was released today? The fuck? Or was that January 11th, not the 1st of November? Speaking of Harry Potter, there's Harry Potter. Why is she kissing Dumbledore? Oh, that's right, they kind of kiss at the beginning. The only games that I will play are this game, because I have it on disc and I want to play them again, and maybe this one eventually, because apparently it's like a soft porn type game. Apparently. Dark winter, necrotic. They sing this will never end. Transgression, my burdens, what have I done? Scribs and jokes of light, what was and will be the eternal presence. Now it's gonna turn blue. Who of you will dare to sit in the throne? I have uni tomorrow, but I don't need to go in. Which means I can sleep in even more. Instead of leaving the house at like 11:30, I can leave the house at nothing. Because the class isn't at 2:30 tomorrow, it's at 1. So I can just be on my... Let's do this. I, like, usually when opening, like, starting consoles, I usually feel like I don't want to watch the boot up screen. But with PlayStation 2, maybe PS3, and definitely the Xboxes, you want to watch them. Yeah. Hopefully I can get through this area. Because apparently you can complete this game within fucking 4 hours. And it took me an hour and a half to get through the first fucking area. I don't want to say I'm a bad gamer. But sometimes I can be a horrid gamer. I want Nintendo to release a proper console again. They released a Switch like in 2016. Shiny entertainment. This is meant to be more green, but it's like yellow. Like, these are different parts of the level, but it's still the same level. It's crazy. Let's try to get through this, shall we? Shall we? I need to probably get used to the controls again. Remember, I can't use the camera. I need to focus on. I need to use focus because apparently focus is good. I still don't like how I can't control the camera. I think I forgot that the color was like this. Why did my brain think it was fucking are you? Wasn't this bad yesterday? I don't remember. Maybe my brain in memory made it a bit better. That's so weird. Wait. Does it feel weird? Like it's... I think I'll leave it. No, it looks the same. I think. Yeah, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Man, I tried to jump through the fucking door window and I couldn't do it. Is my light brighter than usual? I don't know. My health is low already. Fuck. Like, I don't know if it's the Xbox, if it's the cable, or if it's the TV. Move, you fucking prick! Stop doing that! You're focusing for some fucking reason. Yeah, I think you're too bright for some reason. I'm taking you down. I don't think you were this bright before. Oh, this fucking thing's caught.
Yeah, I'm on it. Got a plan. Just let me work the timing. Okay, put your back to the city map. It's opposite the big window. Good. Now, hang tight for a minute. Here we go. Now, when I say go, I want you to run for that big window in front of you and jump through it. Yeah, this'll work.
Okay.
3,
Let me focus.
2, 1, go!
Got him. He's down off the west wing.
Oh man.
Let's get going. I think those sirens are for us.
Hopefully I have unlimited ammo.
Sorry about that.
I don't think Night does this game justice.
Bear right. You're almost there. It's the next street.
Can we flip?
Sparks, the exit. Tell me it's close.
It's close. The fire escape, on your left. Hurry. There's a maintenance phone on the roof. The phone is behind the roof access door.
Ah, thanks, Sparks. I couldn't have been on the ground floor.
Mr. Anderson.
You find the door. I'll hold them back.
Metal Jesus rocks.
Hey guys, Metal Jesus here. Now, one of my goals for my game room is to try and get as many of my gaming consoles connected via HDMI. And the reason for this is really twofold. One, a lot of new HD televisions only have HDMI inputs. The other thing is, with my YouTube channel, I'm always capturing gameplay footage, and it's so much easier if everything was connected via the same input. So in this video, I'm going to review an HDMI cable for the original Xbox. Now I picked out a bunch of games. We're going to compare gameplay footage. And the good news is, this thing is reasonably priced. Let's take a look. Alright, so here is the HD Link cable for the original Xbox, and this is by the company Pound. And it comes pretty simple. It comes in a box, and you have the cable, of course, and then you have simple instructions. Now, one thing I want to remind people is that the original Xbox was the most powerful console of that generation. And because of that, games tend to support both standard definition and then all the way up to 1080i in some cases. And so for this video, I've selected a bunch of games that are going to test all the different resolutions, and we're going to compare those side by side.
Meet the stars who make Western Star more than butter.
But first, it's very important when you get this cable to go into the settings on your original Xbox, into video, and enable all the different HD resolutions. Because this cable does not do any upscaling. It just simply converts a component signal to HDMI. So you want to turn on 480p, 720p, and 1080i. I want to start off with AMP2 as an example of just how much better a component signal is coming from the original Xbox. So to start off with, I want to show you what composite looks like. This is the single yellow video cable, and then this is what it looks like if you plug it into an HD television. It's washed out, it doesn't look very good. Frankly, it's almost unplayable. But here is the same game, same console, plugged into component out. Here's some gameplay of AMP2. And by the way, I want to apologize because I'm absolutely terrible at this game. But it's a great example of just how much better component can look. See, check that out. I mean, component is just night and day. So much better.
Holy cannoli! Oh, that was nasty!
Like I alluded to earlier, the original Xbox supports a bunch of different video resolutions. So I'm going to pick, to start off with here, a couple games that run in 480p. So here we have Burnout Revenge. This is in standard definition right here. So again, this is what it would look like if you took just the yellow simple cable and plugged it into an HD television. It doesn't look very good. Frankly, it looks horrible in my opinion. I mean, it's washed out, it's blurry, it looks like crap. But then, same game, same console, and that's what component looks like in 480p. Again, it just looks amazing. And then here is what the video looks like when you use the HD Link cable. Now, to my eyes, there is not much difference at all. There's a little bit of a difference in contrast, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. I have a better example of that. But you'll notice that the frame rate doesn't dip, and it just looks great. Let's go ahead and pop in another game that runs in 480p, and that is SSX3. Now, I chose these two games for a very specific reason, and that is because I've played them for, I don't know, 100 hours, maybe more. And so I'm very familiar with how these games feel. For these games games, I was really looking to see, okay, is there any noticeable lag? Because obviously this cable is converting component to HDMI, and I was looking to see if it was going to be any noticeable lag that would, screw up my gameplay. And the answer is no. I mean, as a matter of fact, I got a high score. I actually beat one of my high scores playing this game, and so that's good news, because you definitely don't want to introduce any lag. The next game I wanted to test is a first-person shooter called Dark Watch, and the reason why I chose this is because it's somewhat unusual in that it runs in 480i, or interlaced. Now, my video is rendered up to 1080p, so it's kind of difficult to tell. However, you'll notice it's definitely a little bit more washed out than normal. That is not the fault of that HDMI cable. I compared it back and forth to the official Xbox component cables, and it looked almost identical. So this is an example of a game running in 480i that is going through the HDMI cable, and yeah, it looks good. It looks as good as it can. Now let's take a look at some games that up the resolution. So Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines runs at 720p on the original Xbox, and you'll notice it also runs in widescreen. So pushing the hardware a little bit harder than before, and basically this that you're looking at right here is the component cables, and then we're going to move over to the HDMI cable. And they're very similar, although if you compare them closely, the contrast is a little bit different between them. It's not very noticeable, and to be honest, when I was capturing the footage, I actually didn't notice. It wasn't that striking of a difference. It was only until I went back in this video and A/B'd them side by side that I kind of noticed that. But it's something. What you see here, and standard definition looks 20p, and also it's watt games. Now keep they're brand new. And then here is a bit of a curiosity. This is Enter the Matrix. This is one of the very few games on the original Xbox that will run in 1080i. Now keep in mind, that's very unusual for this generation of consoles. And, this game, it does a decent job running at that. I think it's because the visuals in general are pretty basic. There's not a lot going on in textures. That's my guess. I think that's how they're able to pull this off. Now, right here, you're seeing the official Xbox component cables, again, running in 1080i, and very smooth. And then we're going to go over, and now you're looking at the HDMI cable. Again, very little difference, no noticeable dip in frame rate. This game doesn't have a great frame rate anyways. Like I mentioned, I think it's pushing the original Xbox fairly hard, but it's a cool example of those cables working with some of the more higher resolution games out there. I do want to bring your attention down into the lower right hand corner. Notice that there is a weird video anomaly that is happening here. And at first I thought, okay, maybe this is the cable, but no, actually it happens in both component and also HDMI. So it's definitely either my Xbox or the game itself. So it's just a weird glitch, but again, it has nothing to do with the cable. So that's a quick look at the HD Link cable for the original Xbox. Now, I bought this off of Amazon for $25, and I'll put a link down in the video description below if you want to check it out as well. However, I do want to remind people that this is not upscaling the video to HDMI. It's simply converting that resolution from component to HDMI. And the reason why that's very important is because not every modern HD television can handle that. For instance, there are some HD televisions that simply don't know what to do with 480p over HDMI, and you might get a weird signal, you may get a blank screen.
Okay, so
This is Thaddeus, captain of the Osiris, and I fear this will be our last.
Just be aware. Hey guys, Metal Jesus here. And pretty simple. It comes in a box, and you have the cable, of course, and then you have simple instructions. Now, one thing I want to remind people is that the original Xbox was the most powerful resolutions because this cable does not do any upscaling. It just simply converts a component important when you get this cable to go into the settings on your original Xbox into video and enable all the different HD resolutions because this cable does not do any upscaling. It just simply converts a component signal to HDMI. So you want to turn on 480p, 720.
So I bought it. Apparently looks good. Be here Friday, so I'll test it on Friday. But for the time being, just play it as is. Because apparently this runs 1080p somehow. Okay, so let me just play it again. That's not it. That's not it either. Come on, Chip, where are you? Okay, so I'm gonna test something. I'm going to test something. Don't know if this will work, but I'm going to test something. Don't worry, I'll be playing a bit more tonight. I just wanna, cause I don't like the fucking color and the resolution. Let me test something. Because if I put this in, it's gonna say it's unreadable. Yep. Yeah. It only reads it when the game is already in. But if I do this, get rid of you. No. That doesn't fix it.
And 1080i. I want to start off with AMP2 as this cable solutions, and we're going to compare those side by side. But first, it's very important when you get this cable to go into the settings on your original Xbox, into video, and enable all the different HD resolutions. Because this cable does not do any upscaling. It just simply converts a component signal to HDMI. So you want to turn on 480p, 720p, and 1080i. I want to start off with AMP2 as an example of just of AMP couple game.
somebody asked how to get HD, and they had a PAL Xbox. So one of the programs, now I'm in the US, so I have an NTSC Xbox, so I output HD, there's no problem outputting 720p. But if you are in Europe, you probably have a PAL Xbox, and you can switch that to NTSC using a program called Enigma. And I'm going to put a link to the program in the description, and I'm showing you now how to install it, how to use it. So you just FTP in your Xbox. I'm going to put it under apps, under here, under E, under apps. Over here is the program. It's got two things in it. It's got a media folder and a default, so I'm just going to transfer that. Boom, that's really quick. It's over there. I'm going to reboot my Xbox, and then I'll show you here on the Xbox what how to use Enigma. Okay, now I've rebooted my Xbox already. So I go down here under applications, you'll see the program will show up. It's called Enigma Video Mode. So I just hit the A button, and that'll bring it up. And this lets you switch your video mode. So here on the bottom, you'll see it says press A button for PAL and B for NTSC. So now I'm in the NTSC, I'm in the US. I'm going to go ahead and push A and see if I can switch it to PAL, and I'll switch it back. So I'll push A, now switch to PAL, and then I'm just going to reboot it real quick with the soft boot. Okay, and you can see, oh, that's not so great even with my settings here, so hopefully I can, apps, let's see, launch DVD, games, I think apps is the third one, so all the way up, that's launch DVD, apps, games, that's apps here, Enigma, so I shouldn't have it in PAL, so anyway, it's in PAL, and then I think you hit the B button to get to NTSC. Now I'm just going to reboot, give it a little soft boot. Here we go. Wow, okay, that was really crazy. So basically what I did, I went into Enigma, and
Quite annoying. It's fucking annoying. Because I know I can play these games without it, but it's just, not only is the resolution pissing me off, the color sucks. On all the games I've played, the color just sucks. Like when the greens are too green, blues are just visible, and reds aren't even there.
Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to soft mod your Xbox original with SID installer. So firstly what you'll need is an exploitable game. Now the one that I recommend is Splinter Cell. Now you want to make sure it's the original version. You do not want the Platinum version because it will cause issues, it just won't work. You can also get the game called MechAssault and 007 Agent Under Fire. These are the three games that will work with the exploit. Secondly, you want to get a female USB to Xbox controller adapter. Now you can pick one of these up on eBay, quite cheap. Amazon I'm sure as well, and other places. So you can get hold of one of those. That'll make your life a lot easier. Because some people cut up controller cables, and yeah, it's just a bit messy doing it that way. This is so much easier. And thirdly, you want to get hold of a memory stick, but you want to make sure it's around 1 gigabyte or under, because generally 1 gig and over can cause issues like the Xbox won't recognise the memory stick. So I had a few troubles with my memory sticks. I used various different ones and they didn't work. However, this one gave me luck, and this is around 1 gigabyte I believe. So you just want to do a little testing now and then. Just pick the right memory stick if you can. Go for around 1 gigabyte or under. Right, once you have everything that you need, all you want to do is plug in USB memory stick into the adapter that you have, and then plug that into the Xbox, preferably into the second controller port. Once it's plugged in, you just want to go to memory, and it should say that it needs to be erased. Here you go. Just press OK, and now the memory stick will be readable by the Xbox in its FAT-X format, I believe. Just to say as well, make sure that the memory stick is in FAT format before you plug it into the Xbox, because I've tried it before on FAT32 and plugged it into the Xbox did not read it, and it said it had been corrupted and it wouldn't work. So just make sure it's in FAT format, that way it'll work the Xbox, and the Xbox can then read it and format it. Right, now let's go to the computer. Before you plug the memory stick into the computer, you firstly want to download the SID installer. So just click on the link in the description posted below. You want to scroll down, click on download file here. Don't worry, it's all completely safe guys, I wouldn't upload it dodgy. So you just want to click on download file here, and then wait for it to download. Now mine's already downloaded, so I'll just cancel that. Once it's downloaded, you'll have this file here. Now, I use WinRAR to extract my files. You can use other programs, however I recommend WinRAR. So you just want to
Shit's annoying, bruv. Like, why make it a thing where you can select HD in one fucking version but the other one you can't? Why isn't it universal? Why can't I make a PAL console HD but NTSC I can't? That doesn't fucking make any sense. I understand making a region lock so you can't play American games in Australia. I get that, but why is it two different fucking resolution systems?
Alright, what's up, y'all? In today's video, I'm just going to be talking about two of my original Xboxes. I already have Evolution X installed in my Oh yeah, I already have Evolution X installed in my original Xbox with the customizations on it. And for I have two other Xboxes, original Xboxes that I haven't sold money yet, that I have bought last month. So yeah, all you need is yeah, I was gonna, yeah, my bad, I don't know why I was just skipping tracks like that, but I'm gonna go ahead and install Evolution X on one of the Xboxes and Unleash X on the other. So for this video, so for all the things that you need so far is that you need a USB converter to original Xbox. Yeah, a female USB converter to original Xbox cord. Okay. SI order. But like
if there was hair or if there was a fucking bug on my foot. Jeez.
While the original Xbox was launched in North America in November of 2001, it took a few months for it to appear in Australia and other PAL regions, with the official launch being March of 2002. I bought mine day one, and it has since become my favorite console of all time. In early 2004, to celebrate 2 years of Xbox in Europe and Australia, Microsoft released the limited edition Crystal Xbox, which came with the console and 2 matching controllers. While initially a PAL exclusive unit, it was later sold in Canada as an NTSC variant. This is my Crystal Xbox. It's the 50Hz PAL edition and requires 240 volts AC from the wall, and it's been sitting in my storage for about 12 years. I bought this machine when it first came out in 2004. It's never been opened up and it's in great shape. This used to be my Xbox Live retail machine that I kept 100% stock with no mods and I used for all my retail gaming. But these days, as I live in North America, I want to revive the system and bring it back to life. And there are some specific mods that I want to perform to the Xbox in order to do that. So this Crystal Xbox is in really good shape and been sitting in storage for the last 12 years. Now, you're probably wondering why I need to open up the machine and do some modifications to it. The first and most important reason is the clock capacitor. The clock capacitor is an electrolytic capacitor that is on the Xbox motherboard that holds the system time when you power off the machine. Now, the problem with the clock capacitor is it's very well documented that after about 10 years or so of owning an original Xbox, that particular capacitor starts to leak electrolytic fluid all over the motherboard and potentially can cause irreparable damage to the motherboard itself. So we need to open up the Xbox, remove the clock capacitor, and clean up any electrolytic acid that has potentially caused damage to the motherboard. Now, I'm hopeful it hasn't, but of course, until you open up the system and remove the capacitor, you're not really sure. And the other issue is the power supply. Because I live in North America, I need to utilize a power supply that has 110 volts AC from the wall. Now, because this model Crystal Xbox that I have, I brought back from Australia with me, is 240 volts AC, we need to replace the power supply with a 110 volt equivalent. But first things first, it's been 12 years, so we need to test the system and see if it still powers up. I honestly have no idea, and at this point, I give it 50-50. And also, because it's stock 240 volts AC, it means I can't just plug it into the wall. So I will need a step-down transformer to convert the 240 volts AC to 110 volts AC. Fortunately, I have one that I use to test overseas electronics with, so let's connect it up to the Xbox and see what happens.
If you ring 000, you have to listen to a 16-second pre-recorded message.
And the good news is that this Xbox is still alive and kicking after all those years of being dormant. I've connected this Xbox up to a CRT with a standard composite cable. You may notice that the image is black and white, and this is because of the mismatch between a 50Hz PAL Xbox and a 60Hz NTSC CRT. You can, however, get color if you switch the Xbox to the PAL 60 option in the video menu. But one thing that's very important to note, and one of the biggest limitations of owning a stock region PAL Xbox, is that HD signals are not supported. Even with the official HD component AV pack, which I've connected up to this display, the options for 480p, 720p and 1080i never show up. But the good news is that we can easily convert this Xbox to a North American region system and display a 60Hz NTSC signal. More on that later. In order to convert the AC voltage from 240 volts AC to 110 volts AC without using the step-down converter, we will need to replace the power supply. This is simple to do. I found a replacement power supply on eBay, but note there are two variants of Xbox power supplies depending on the version of Xbox you have. The majority of Crystal Xboxes are version 1.4 motherboards, with a very small percentage being 1.6 variants. And this particular power supply only cost me about $12. So let's go down to the workbench and swap out the old power supply and replace it with the new one. And since we also want to remove the clock capacitor, I'm going to remove the motherboard completely out of the case. While the motherboard has some dust, it's otherwise very clean and the clock capacitor isn't bulging or appear to have leaked at all. Either way, the best way to deal with this component is to simply remove it. So now that's done, there's one more thing left we want to do to the Xbox, and that's a TSOP mod. We want to flash a custom BIOS onto the Xbox, and in order to do this, we bridge 2 points on the motherboard to simply enable flashing of the TSOP chip. This step is pretty simple. Next up, let's give the motherboard a clean with some component cleaner, and now with the TSOP mod, the clock capacitor removal, let's put the system back together with the North American 110 volt power supply. But before we put the lid back on, I want to test the machine to make sure it's working with the new power supply, and then we will perform a soft mod of the Xbox so we can flash a custom BIOS onto the TSOP. going smooth with this mod, I run into a problem. Because this is a PAL Xbox, my copy of Splinter Cell is NTSC North American, and it won't let me boot on this Xbox unless I have a PAL region copy of Splinter Cell or Agent Under Fire. Attempting to boot Splinter Cell NTSC gives me this region error. So I scramble and run into the game closet and look at my Xbox game collection. I do have a library of a few PAL games, and I'm very, very fortunate that I kept a copy of Agent Under Fire PAL region for this very purpose. Now this gives me the ability to boot into the soft mod and then change the region to North America. So now, with our soft mod, we can easily install Unleash X, and from here, we can go into the video settings and enable the region change of this Xbox from PAL to NTSC North America. And as soon as we've changed the region to NTSC, in the Microsoft dashboard settings, we now have the HD options that we were missing earlier when the console was set to PAL region. Fortunately, the region change is a simple flag in the EEPROM, and there is no hardware modification necessary. To test this video setting is actually working, I boot up into the Matrix. Not a particularly great game, but one that supports 1080i interlace mode. As expected, it runs and looks great at 1080i resolution.
Spotted the suspect.
On this region change of this. Now this gives me the ability. I scramble and run into the game closet and look at my Xbox game collection. I do have a library of a few PAL games, and I'm very, very fortunate that I kept a copy of Agent Under Fire PAL region for this very purpose. Now this gives me the ability to boot into the soft mod and then change the region to North America. So now with our soft mod, we can easily install. I'm very fortunate that I think to boot Splinter Cell NT problem, because this is a custom BIOS onto the TSOC. Just when everything is going smooth with this mod, I run into a problem. Because this is a PAL Xbox, my copy of Splinter Cell is NTSC North American, and it won't let me boot on this Xbox unless I have a PAL region copy of Splinter Cell or Agent Under Fire. Attempting to boot Splinter Cell NTSC gives me this region error. So I scramble and run into the game closet and look at my Xbox game collection. I do have a library of a few PAL games, and I'm very, very fortunate that I kept a copy of Agent Under Fire PAL region for this very purpose. Now this gives me the ability to boot into the soft mod and then change the region to North America. So now with our soft mod, we can install Unleash X, and from here we can go into the video settings and enable the region change of this Xbox from PAL to NTSC North America. And as soon as we've changed the region to NTSC, in the Microsoft dashboard settings, we now have the HD options that we were missing earlier when the console was set to PAL region. Fortunately, the region change is a simple flag in the EEPROM, and there is no hardware modification necessary. To test this video setting, change complete, let's flash a custom BIOS onto the TSOP. In order to do this, I use Hexen, which is a disk jam full of useful utilities for a modded Xbox. By selecting the ability to flash a new BIOS onto the TSOP, this step is trivial and takes only about 1 minute to perform. I want to do one more modification to this Xbox before we button it up and call it good, and that is to replace the IDE hard drive, the stock 8GB IDE hard drive, with a 64GB compact flash card. Replacing the hard drive with a compact flash card is a cheap and simple solution. You not only get larger storage, it's quieter, uses less power, and means you can easily swap cards in and out as you need. In short, I love doing this, and it's very easy to set up. With the Hexen boot disk, it will detect the presence of a new hard drive, and just following the on-screen instructions will get your have some fun.
Fuck me. Alright, I'm gonna hop off stream because I need to fucking do this shit. Like, I'm dead set I need to fucking mod my fucking Xbox to make it to the American thing. But the cool thing is I have a part of it already done. I can, like, my system is already modded. It's been the only modded machine we fucking have in the house. It's modded so we can read any American Xbox game, because this is American, as you can see in the here. But it's still not HD, and if for some reason it can only, the way we had it designed for some reason that the games being inputted can be played, however we can't look at the main menu. I just don't know why you can't look at the main menu in original fucking games. Just, there's no menu button. Anyways, let me hop off. I'm gonna try to figure this shit out with relative ease, hopefully. Yeah. Bye.